Namaste, everyone, and welcome to yet another podcast episode on Incense show with DJ. So, we'll be doing the chapter on Egypt again from the Complete Incense book by Suzanne Fisher Rizzi. This is page number 68, and we'll be doing this. It starts with flattering the noses of the gods and the people. Fragrant incense burning accompanied almost every facet of Egyptian life, sacred, medicinal, and aesthetic. Sacred incense burning, gods love fragrances, is a frequent saying in Egypt, and ancient Egyptians burned them very generously during their incense burning ceremonies. They burned something fragrant on a daily basis in every temple and on every household altar. Outside the temple, they sacrificed frankincense to the gods in flat, open bowls that were often golden. The pharaohs burned incense even while conducting government business. A granite tablet shows Thutmose IV above the burning incense. In Heliopolis, the city of the sun god Ra, priests performed incense burning ceremonies daily, according to where the sun was in the sky. Frankincense at sunrise, myrrh at noon, and kefi at sunset. The latter a mixture of precious ingredients. The Egyptians considered fragrances so powerful, they were a sign the gods were near. They even thought fragrances were the breath of eternal life. Surrounding oneself with fragrances was to be close to the gods and eternity. They burned incense as a sacrifice every day. They placed the incense mixtures in small clay bowls that had lids. Frequently, they removed the lids so the fragrant smoke could escape. Later, during Dynasty 18 and Dynasty 19, the Egyptians used beautifully carved pipes with small metal bowls on one end to burn small incense pellets on charcoal. Inside the house, they sacrificed incense on small cube-shaped altars. Outdoors, they used incense to mask unpleasant smells and keep insects away. Incense burning for medicinal purposes. Priests, as well as medicine men and physicians, had great knowledge of the healing powers of incense burning. We found proof of this on medical papyri. Healers exposed sick people or at least the painful parts of the body to the smoke. Sometimes the treatment was followed by massaging the respective region of the body. This type of incense burning for the ill is one of the oldest reported healing practices. The ancient Egyptians also used incense burning to drive illness-causing demons from the body. Some native peoples still follow this practice. Today, we know that intense fragrances, such as the ones created by incense burning, have a strong effect on the human psyche. We can, for instance, easily imagine that incense burning can reduce, neutralize, or even dissolve illness causing mental situations. Today, we call these demons fear, stress, restlessness, and depression. Specific incense burning fragrances can lessen the effects of all of them. Visionary incense burning. The ancient Egyptians used incense burning ceremonies to create visions of oracles, trances, temple sleep, and divination. The ceremony freed psychoactive substances in the plant, and the participants inhaled these. We find recipes for such incense mixtures recorded in books about magic and inscribed on temple walls. A few very specific recipes can be found in the Ledna Magic Papyrus. Ancient Egyptians often used visionary incense burning plants such as alraun, blue lotus, poppy, harmala, and jimson weed together with frankincense resin. Since these plants have hallucinatory properties and when used improperly can have strong physical and emotional side effects, you should not use them. The oracle shrine in Egypt, very similar to the Delphi in Greece, was located in the Libyan desert near the Siwa oasis. The use of plants that had psychedelic magical effects was always limited to occult practices and was supervised by experienced priests or priestesses. Visionary incense burning goes back to the primeval shaman times. It reached another high point in ancient Greece. Incense burning for love and a beautiful day. Enjoying wonderful fragrances was not only for the gods. People too had the capacity to use fragrances for well being, vitality, and sensuality. For Egyptians, death was always present. They had a highly developed tradition of giving fragrances to the dead for their journey into the world beyond. They embalmed the bodies of the deceased with large amounts of myrrh and other fragrant substances. But the fragrance of myrrh was also a symbol of love, sensuality, and eroticism. Their awareness of the impermanence of life was a source of inspiration for the Egyptians and gave rise to the desire to experience the beautiful side of life consciously and to cultivate it to their heart's content. They expressed death, love, eroticism, impermanence, and pleasant fragrances in lyrics with unparalleled beauty and a deep, magical, and timeless wisdom. Shadow and light, awareness of death, and the pleasures of life were all part of incense burning ceremonies. Against the backdrop of death, the joys and pleasures of life became more and more colorful and unique for the people of Egypt. Nobody has returned to make known their condition, to make known their needs, which would comfort our heart until we reach this place where they are now. Therefore, celebrate the beauty of the day and don't tire. People used beautiful fragrances to increase joy and aesthetics, as well as for amusement and sensuality. Incense burning brought elegance and lightness to the life of the people of ancient Egypt. They wrote erotic instructions on papyri, lyrical poems of love, and even inscriptions on gravestones, all encouraging people to celebrate the beauty of the day. Fragrances such as myrrh, sandalwood, cinnamon, benzoin, labdanum, storax, and Chinese cinnamon increased beautiful hours, making them even more precious. Birds of Punt appear on my horizon. So these are songs. Actually, this Nobody Has Returned and Don't Die. This was also a song and this also is a song. It says, birds of Punt appear on my horizon. I'm catching them one after another with my net. One is saturated with myrrh, the other with frankincense. Another again with cinnamon. Oh, loved one, I'm longing for both of us to set them free, one after the other, so the movement of their wings will bathe us both. in the paradise of fragrances. The above comes from a stone tablet found in a grave in Egypt dating from the 3rd century BC. Ancient Egyptians often said, "A day without fragrance is a lost day." Even today, we have sensuously sweet incense at our disposal. Why not do as the Egyptians did? Create a beautiful day that allows you to forget your troubles. So this was till page 70. The next time we'll be reading is In the Laboratory of Fragrances, and so then we'll be reading about Kifi. So that's all we had today. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and you liked it. If you think somebody else can enjoy it, to share it with them. If you have anything to say, just let me know in the comment section below. This is Dolly Cha here, and I thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Till we meet again next, take very good care of yourself. Namaste.